Asisabhadalwanga i-school fees sabantwana manje cha. Ngiyaqala ukuyibona emakanje kawu. Sibali.
On what seems like a normal, quiet day, a white car arrives at a parking spot in South Africa, not knowing it has already caught the attention of criminals. As the people in the white car step away from their vehicle, a man exits a silver car with a bag in hand. He quietly trails behind them into the store, staying close while avoiding attention. This is how these criminals operate. The man carrying the bag moves close to the victims to scan their car keys. Inside the bag is a device that can detect keyless signals directly from a pocket. Since the car uses keyless entry, no physical key is needed to start it. Meanwhile, his accomplice stays nearby, ready to jump in and drive off the moment the signal is captured. Vehicles like this are among the most targeted in South Africa. Always be aware of your surroundings after parking, especially if someone gets too close without reason. This footage shows an elderly man being targeted by two suspects. Notice how the individual wearing a yellow shirt quickly pulls the passenger door open just moments before the driver gets out to lock the car. The driver left the vehicle without realizing the door had been slightly opened. Criminals often blend in by acting like car guards, which makes their moves less noticeable. After waiting a few moments for the driver to enter the shop, the suspects knew it was time to act. They first made sure the driver was nowhere nearby, then checked their surroundings to see if anyone was watching before making their move. It became clear the suspects were not after the car itself, but rather what was inside. It's always important to double-check that your vehicle is locked every time you walk away.
It's happening now, Pinecrest, happening now at next to restaurant, at the parking.
A disturbing scene was captured by bystanders as an armed gang casually packed stolen items into their getaway vehicle at a busy South African mall. They didn't seem bothered at all by the noise and shouting from the crowd. Another camera angle shows a police vehicle patrolling the area and unintentionally approaching the scene, unaware of the danger ahead. Two armed men move toward the officer, but fortunately, they choose not to open fire. With the robbers carrying assault rifles, the officer had no way to respond in that moment. Watch how the security guards outsmart a heavily armed gang targeting a cash-in-transit van. The robbers chase the van and fire shots in an attempt to stop it, but the guards refuse to give in and stay firmly in control of the situation. The guards quickly drove into the shopping mall and waited for backup. This strategic move made it extremely difficult for the suspects to carry out the robbery. Thankfully, both the guards and shoppers were unharmed. With the robbers armed with powerful weapons, the risk of crossfire was extremely high. It helped that the incident occurred early in the morning, before most people had arrived at the mall. Here we see the robbers fleeing the scene empty-handed after a failed cash-in-transit heist. This type of incident is very common in South Africa, where gangs often use explosives to blast open armored cash vans. There have been many cases where robbers successfully bomb these vehicles and escape with large amounts of money, sometimes followed by residents waiting to loot whatever is left behind.
Nee mense, julle kan mos nie dit doen nie man. Jare dis nie aan nie. Nee, gent. Haai bo. Hallo my dot. Nee my broer.
Here we see a thief attempting to snatch a customer's phone in Johannesburg, but in the process, he accidentally drops his own phone. The footage begins with a man walking into a restaurant, looking around suspiciously. The woman nearby has no idea her phone is being targeted. He even takes out his own phone to pretend he's just another customer waiting in line. After stepping outside and pretending to be on a phone call while checking his surroundings, he realizes the coast is clear and decides to make his move. This is a reminder to always stay aware of your surroundings, especially in crowded places. This clip shows criminals pretending to be contractors as they steal cables in broad daylight in South Africa. In recent years, this method has grown more common, with criminals disguising themselves as contractors to blend in. Unfortunately, it's the community that pays the price, sometimes going days without electricity or water. Their calm behavior shows this is something they've done repeatedly. These cables are typically taken straight to scrap yards for fast cash. A man became the target of armed robbers just moments after he entered his residence late in the evening. They took his cell phone, but fortunately, he escaped unharmed. Dashcam footage shows an Uber driver being set up by two women sitting in the back seat, pretending to be passengers in one of Cape Town's no-go zones for ride-hailing drivers. As they keep him busy with conversation, and before he can even pull off, armed men suddenly appear at his door, leaving him no time to react. They forced him out of the vehicle and began searching the car while others took his cell phone. What's truly disturbing is that this happened in full view of people walking nearby. Yet the suspects didn't seem bothered at all.
I'm not calling anyone. Okay, could you pin up?
The moment a suspect mentions a tracker, the driver knows the robbery is escalating. With no time to think, he takes a bold risk to protect his vehicle. The driver was lucky the suspects never took his keys. When he noticed they were distracted, he made a quick move and sped off. That split-second decision may have saved both his car and his life. In moments like these, hesitation can be fatal, and the women who helped set him up vanished without a trace. In this next video, another Uber driver is targeted in a similar way in Cape Town. The woman sitting in the front seat appears busy on her phone, but she is actually communicating with the robbers waiting ahead, setting the driver up for the attack.
Nothing to do with the age you get paid. What you mean now?
No, you see, my studio location is very location, because otherwise I'm not gonna pick up this location. When you say garage, then after garage, then you must 10 years.
नहीं कुछ नहीं ना
Suddenly, a man jumps into the front seat with a gun in his hand, making it clear that the driver had been set up from the start.
Everything. Everything. Mommy, everything.
In a desperate move, the driver takes a huge risk and speeds off. A robber tries to shoot as the vehicle pulls away, but the driver manages to escape. He survives the terrifying encounter unharmed. CCTV cameras captured a group of suspects who had been moving around the area targeting car headlights, and this vehicle became their next target. Here we see a man who quickly notices what's happening and rushes inside to alert the car's owner. By the time the owner rushed outside, it was already too late. The thieves removed the headlights in seconds and drove off before anyone could stop them. Once again, the same car is spotted on CCTV, this time approaching a vehicle parked by the road. After circling and watching the surroundings, they seize the chance to strip the headlights. It's truly shocking to see how far crime has escalated in South Africa. Criminals are now bold enough to steal in broad daylight, and innocent people end up losing the things they worked hard for. This has become a long-running trend in South Africa, where thieves have repeatedly focused on VW cars, making them one of the most common targets in these crimes. In this video, a delivery van is targeted by a group of robbers in broad daylight in South Africa. The robbers moved quickly as people nearby began noticing what was happening and started shouting. One brave woman, seeing the situation unfold, decided to step in and make a risky attempt to stop them. The courageous woman caught one of the suspects for a second, but he broke free and ran off. Thankfully, she was not harmed during this dangerous incident, especially considering the suspects were armed. In the following footage, yet another delivery crew is targeted during a routine drop-off in a normally peaceful South African neighborhood. What stands out the most is the suspect's calm behavior, even while committing a robbery in the middle of the day. It's as if they have no concern about being caught, revealing how serious the crime situation has become. Just as the driver was about to enter the gate, a car that had been following him suddenly stopped behind his vehicle, blocking the way. Two armed men then jumped out and rushed straight toward him. The robbers quickly took all the occupants' belongings, making it clear they were not after the vehicle itself. Thankfully, no one was injured during the robbery. The footage shows a driver being tailed by two cars. As one blocks him from behind, what the driver does next completely shocks the suspects. This quick-thinking driver realized what was happening around him and managed to escape unharmed. His escape highlights the importance of always checking your surroundings. A young lady makes her way inside the property, completely unaware that a man is following just a few steps behind while she stays focused on her phone. Suddenly, the man who had been pretending to wait with her grabbed her cell phone and ran off.